Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of DoughJo Setting. Today we're going to do another how-to. Today we are going to do a how to set a shadow walk. But before we get into that, make sure you like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram. I'm trying to post some cool stuff there. I've also started a Patreon, so consider checking us out over there as well. Just using that to provide higher quality content. There's some exclusive stuff over there, contests, giveaways, things like that. So, yeah. So, what is a shadow walk? Shadow walk is pretty easy. Ultimately, it is a sequence that is climbed with your feet and not your hands. The easiest way to set a shadow walk is on a slab. But depending on how high profile holds you have, you could go onto vertical. We are going to set one on the slab here, and we'll talk about it. Yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing we need is, well, you don't really have to have one, but I'm gonna put on a start hold just because we don't really need it for this. Like I said, the shadow walk is mostly feet. So we don't necessarily need this, but I always like, especially in a commercial setting, I always like to just get people off the ground, give them something to hold on to pull off the ground. The orientation of this, the size of this does not matter. I just pick something that is really big, just so it's easier to see for you guys. So I'm just gonna pop this on real quick. So let's get into the more important part, the feet. Okay, so with the feet that you choose, it's sort of what we mentioned earlier, heavily dependent on the wall angle you have. This wall here is a slab, but not very. It might be a couple degrees of slab. So to make a shadow walk easy, use very high profile holds. To make it hard, use smaller holds. One thing that I like to do is to have the feet get progressively lower profile the further I go. That way it gets harder as you go. So we're going to start off with something fairly high profile. This sticks out of the wall maybe 4 or 5 inches. I'm just going to put it as a straight down pull here. Can't really say down pull, we're standing on it. Just horizontal. It's going to be really good to stand on. Consider the spacing in between the holds, the foot holds. It depends on the grade that I'm going for, but I usually don't have the feet be further apart than like maybe 1.5 feet or 2 feet. One thing I also like to do is to slightly raise the feet as you go. That way you're not just going horizontal, you are actually going higher up on the wall. It makes it more difficult because essentially you're asking somebody to do a one-legged squat depending on how much higher you put the hold. So that's what we're gonna do. You can make them just straight horizontal. They're usually pretty easy that way, and it's a good introduction to that. But we're gonna keep adding feet. Got another high profile thing here. This one's pretty similar to the start hold as far as profile, but obviously a lot smaller, so it's gonna be harder to match your feet on it. Next one, just a little bit smaller. This one's a little bit more slopey as well, so it's gonna be a little bit more difficult. Next one, a little smaller, not by much. One thing you can do at the end of your shadow walk is sort of reward the climber's footwork by giving them a handhold. That can also mean that you can continue the climb, although that's a little trickier because if you're walking this way and you get to a handhold, if you take the climb back this way, you can't really put any feet there because the climber's just going to grab them during the shadow walk and defeat the purpose. So we're just going to put this on just as kind of a, honestly, just kind of as a finish mark for this move. Then we'll climb it. So this is really hard. I have exposed my weakness, my footwork, my balance. So for me, just trying to get this video filmed and just have a good example for you guys. For me, this is too hard. So I'm going to replace some of the holds with higher profile holds, and we'll try it again. There it is. I have definitely shown my weakness today. I do not have a great sense of balance, apparently, or either that or I'm really bad at standing. There's the shadow walk. Honestly, there's not really much in terms of breaking this goes. If you are traversing a wall and you don't have handholds, how are you going to break it? Thanks for watching. We'll put more videos out soon, and we'll catch you next time.